more than 230,000 people. One night, a fire erupted in the heart of the capital. While you're watching this video somewhere in the world, another apartment may be silently burning. But in Fengtai, Beijing, there was no time to prepare. No alarms, no second chances. The fire started from an old balcony where a forgotten electric heater sat. In minutes, it consumed the third and fourth floors. People screamed. Thick smoke covered everything like night children had nowhere to run. Adults pounded windows, begging for help from above. In this video, we don't just recount Beijing's biggest fire this year. We show what caused it, what was ignored, and why anyone could be next. Stay until the end. What you learn today might save your life tomorrow. Ms. Dai, 42 years old, living on the fourth floor of the building, recalled, "I heard the glass shatter. Then smoke rushed into the bedroom. I barely had time to grab my child and run to the balcony screaming. When I saw a firefighter climbing up the rope, I thought I still have a chance to live." In that life or death moment, I felt so hopeless and full of regret, thinking I was still too young. Luckily, the rescue team saw me. It felt like I came back from the dead. Mr. Zhao, a neighbor, went back into his apartment to rescue his cat trapped in the bathroom. He passed out from smoke inhalation and was rescued 15 minutes later in critical condition, suffering respiratory failure and severe burns. Medical staff on site performed CPR and gave him continuous oxygen. Thanks to the timely intervention of emergency responders, Mr. Zhao gradually regained consciousness. That day, the sky over Beijing was calm, no wind, no rain. But in Fengtai district, a real storm struck not of weather, but of fire. Around 5 p.m., smoke rose from a third-floor balcony of an old apartment block. Within 5 minutes, the fire reached the fourth floor. Many witnesses said they heard no fire alarm, a critical issue ignored for years. A 38-year-old woman recalled in tears, "I only had time to grab my youngest child and run. My older child fell on the stairs. I thought I had lost them." Locals said the hallways were narrow and packed with old furniture and bicycles, making escape extremely difficult. Many had to crawl on the floor, covering their noses with wet cloths to find a way out. Firefighters arrived within 10 minutes. Over 60 of them fought the blaze, but it wasn't easy. Several gas canisters exploded, sending debris flying across the courtyard. A column of thick black smoke rose dozens of meters. Some mistook it for an earthquake. In total, over 230,000 people were evacuated in just a few hours, a staggering number for any city. Though no deaths were reported at the scene, dozens were injured and many families lost everything. Residents had to sleep in temporary shelters set up in sports halls overnight. Shockingly, the fire alarm system didn't work. Authorities confirmed the initial cause may have been a short-circuited electric heater, but the Chinese public erupted. People asked, why weren't the buildings regularly inspected? Why were there no fire drills? Who is responsible? Li D15 still hasn't been able to speak normally since the fire. She and her grandmother lived on the fourth floor. When the fire broke out, her grandmother tried to push her out into the hallway, but the smoke was too thick and both panicked. They were trapped for nearly 20 minutes, only rescued when firefighters lifted them out with a rope ladder. Li D was taken to the hospital with mild respiratory failure. But the biggest wound wasn't in her lungs, it was in her soul. A volunteer shared, "I saw her sitting, hugging her knees, staring at the place that used to be her home, not saying a word for hours. Even when we gave her water, she didn't respond." Another family. Mr. and Mrs. Wu lost all their documents and their only wedding photo from 1972. They only managed to grab a pair of slippers and an old radio. Mr. Wu said, "The fire didn't kill me, but it took my whole life." When summer temperatures exceed 40 degrees Celsius, the risk of fire triples. Climate change doesn't just cause floods and storms. It's turning cities like Beijing, Manila, Cairo, and Ho Chi Minh City into giant matchboxes waiting for a single spark to ignite. Key risk factors include old wiring, low-quality heating devices, lack of fire alarm systems, no escape drill practice. Urgent recommendations: check your home's fire alarm system. Unplug electrical devices when not in use. Clear escape routes. Keep a fire extinguisher and flashlight handy. Know the quickest escape path from your location. Small actions today could save your entire family tomorrow. Fire doesn't need a storm. It doesn't need a tsunami. It doesn't need an earthquake. Just one mistake, 1 second of carelessness. More than 230,000 people had to leave their homes. Hundreds of memories turned to ash. Children woke up to sirens, not understanding what had just happened. Don't wait until you're the one running in the night to remember you once watched a video like this. Check your fire extinguisher. Ask your child, if there's a fire, which way will you run? And if you live somewhere without an alarm system, demand one. Speak up. This is Natural Destruction, where we tell disaster stories, not just to show you the pain, but to help you prevent it. So one day, you won't be the headline. If this video touched you, share it. It might save a life you never expected. Don't let the warning sound only after everything's burned to ashes.